Darn mosquitoes. Had a lot of rain lately. Well, not a lot, just showers here and there. Yesterday was beautiful. Today's beautiful. That brings out those little mosquitoes. I'm sitting there grinding earlier and get a little bite on the side of my neck here. So I get for cutting my hair, eh? But whatever, they're not as bad as poor people out east and up the interior of BC. We are pretty good here for bugs, no black flies or horse flies, or just the odd mosquito. So I can live with that. Okay, I had a buddy asking me about the 390s that unfortunately are going to be faded away soon, but we've just ordered up a lot of them. So we're going to have big stock on them. We're going to try to order as many as we can before they're not going to be around anymore. So still got a few left, I think, but I'm getting down. We got more coming. So on the 390, I do case match porting on the transfer ports. I have an old crankcase here. It's a 385, but same as a 390. The only difference again in the 385 to 390 has been the CC change and carburation a bit for more EPA, to try to meet more EPA specs, which they really don't as much, and that's the reason why they're having to build a new model. So yeah, so I keep this case here and I put a couple little studs in it, like just a couple cut off bolts I put in. So each one that I grind, I know pretty much by eye almost how to get them exactly without even having to do this, but I just check every once in a while just to get it right. So you set the cylinder on there and you can sort of see how I case matched it in there. Yeah, might be a little hard to see, but anyways, you get the point. So it flows nice up into those transfers. If I don't do that, the cylinder right here has a big lip in there, and it kind of covers for the whole transfers to be open properly and smooth properly, or flow properly from the crankcase up into the transfer ports. So yeah, I do each side. I got a half, the ignition side half crankcase and the clutch side half crankcase to match up each side of it. Then I port my exhaust port. Got that mosquito, little bugger. And port my exhaust port to the numbers that I like, which is not a lot more than from stock, just enough to give it a little more top end. I also trimmed the piston, which I think I showed you before, to a spec, and chamfer it nice all around. Get to keep that oil up on that piston and lubricate it properly. And of course, shine up that exhaust log for the carb doesn't build up. It still does, but it takes a lot longer. So yeah, then I had some guys commenting about jonsereds. Let's go over jonsereds. Great saws. They've made some amazing, great models. They've had some better anti-vibration years ago than some Huskies. Kind of in between the period of 2100s and 394s and the 372. Jonsered had some saws in there, the 920, 930. I might not remember all the numbers, but you know what? They worked good. I had a couple of logging crews in this area. My one friend, BOA it used to be called, Barsby, Ossel, and Addison. That's right. So Barsby's, Lyle Barsby was his name. He ran jonsered. He just loved them. They're smooth. You know, they went through the odd mount and stuff. They had these goofy kind of ones in the back, but who cares? The things were smooth. You break the odd mount, big deal. It's just consumable stuff, right? The oil's good. They had good power. They fit the tree nice. They were comfortable to use. So then they, you know, when Husqvarna took over jonsered, they basically started making the same model saws, but just with different shaped covers and a couple different features. They made the 2186, which was the same as the 385 motor, but their starter and covers and handlebars were a little different. They didn't have the angled top handlebar like the 385 did. They were more straight across. So some of my friends are left-handed, which is weird. Try to imagine to run a saw left-handed. I've tried it before. Totally awkward, but I've never been left-handed, but obviously these guys are. So they run their saws left-handed. 2 individuals I know, good friends of mine. Won't mention their names, it might not even want me to. Okay, George. Don't know his last name. Yeah, I do. Anyways, so you got to think about it. I put the handlebars on the jonsered 2186 were better for them because you got to think about your way your wrist is cocked. You know, like in the Husky, they got it like that, so your wrist and your arm are in line for fatiguing and more comfort, better ergonomics. But the guy, when you're left-handed, to try to do that, now your wrist is cocked the wrong way, so you're putting a lot of stress on yourself. So the more straight handles was better for the left-handed guys running them. I also have a friend of mine in Calm River, Brian, that I've made handlebars for. I used to take the 394 Pro Safety handlebars and modify them to fit onto his 385. He still has 2 sets in them, so each time he gets a new saw now, like a new 390, he'll put those handlebars on. Okay, so back to jonsered, yeah. Had the first fuel injected saw in the 50s, way before still wasn't even thinking about it then. Probably they might have been making the saws then. Yeah, they were. But yeah, they had a fuel injection one, I think in 1955. Look it up, I've seen it online. They also made a diesel one in around the same time. A saw collector from the east, Manitoba or somewhere like that, he came out here looking for old saws, and I gave him a couple. McCulloughs, sold him one. One I kind of regret selling. I think I had a Mac 15. I should have kept that thing. It was in perfect shape. I'd like to get another one. Just a basic, cool little saw. I think Buck has got a couple of them too, and maybe Tin Man does too. Tin Man, really cool stuff you're doing there lately. Have to check that home. Well, I didn't know you can get big bore kits for it, or maybe you can bore them out to oversized pistons or something. I think old Homelites actually had cast iron lined cylinders, maybe. Didn't do a lot of Homelites. I haven't really done a lot. Just small ones. When I worked in Toronto years ago, I worked on a lot of consumer saws, XL12, XL2s, Pioneers, 1074s, 1075, all those little tiny ones that people used out there because there was no big logging there. There might have been some up north and stuff, but not in the city of Toronto where I worked. I raced go-karts there too for a couple of years. So yeah, jonsered. Getting off track again, aren't I? Nothing wrong with them, man. Great saws. They've made some really cool ones years ago, you know. Great power. They handle good. Yeah, it's too bad, you know. Husqvarna bought up all... It's kind of weird, eh? Partner, jonsered, and Husqvarna, all kind of in the same sort of town. Like, not in the exact same town, Husqvarna. Or Jönköping, but around that area in Sweden. Prelia, I think one place was called or something. I don't remember. I just seen the name on a tag, on a serial number tag. But yeah, nothing wrong with them. They were great saws. And they don't really market them much anymore, really. I don't see them around. They don't really have any dealers here, but they sell it, I think, in some of the big box stores here and there. So yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go back and put these 390s together. One from my friend Dan. And the other one for, who was that one for? Oh, inline falling. Shane. Yeah. I'm go out to my parents tonight for a little family do. I think I told you last night. And weekend's coming. It's super hot. It's supposed to be like 30 degrees Celsius here, which I don't know, is 85 or something Fahrenheit. Can't remember the conversion. But anyways, yeah. Y'all have a good day. Keep your saw on the wood. Take care.